For our next DIY, you see already I have some panel. This is a backside of a dresser, and of course I got this one for free with a little box with IKEA. With IKEA you have a box, and you can there are they putting all the dressers in they don't use anymore, and most of the time they are always new. So you can take there the wood, of course. So I took a little panel of a backside of a dresser. This is a long time, long story short, it is free. And of course, you see here I have some silhouettes printed out, and these are the silhouettes of two jars. So I'm going to make one bigger and one smaller. So this is a little bit the main things we need for this DIY. So the first thing we are going to do, I'm going to cut out our silhouettes, and I'm going to draw them over on our panel. And here you see already I cut out both of the jars, and they are a little bit big, but I really love a little bit like a bigger jar than a smaller one, because I want them in my kitchen. Of course, I'm going to take some permanent marker, and I'm going to draw out the lines over it, so it's a little bit better to see when I use my jigsaw and for cutting it out. That's why I always use a permanent marker, so I can see it a little bit better. I'm an old lady, so my eyes are a little bit older, so that's why I'm going to do the marker. So, and here you see already both of them are on my board, and now we're going to go outside, and we are going to take our jigsaw and we are going to cut it out. And here you see our two jars which are sorted out right now, and I am going to give them both a nice coat of chalk paint, and I use the white chalk paint, but of course you can use anything you like. If you like a little bit better another color is also fine. So I'm going to do both of them, and then we're going to do the next step. So you see already I gave them a base coat of white chalk paint. What I'm going to do, of course, I did also do the back side in the white color. So I'm going to give the top, the lid, I'm going to give them a little bit of the, I'm sorry, the lighter gray. So I show you, I'm just going to do the top. And later on we will distress it when it looks a little bit more like a lid from a jar. So I'm going to do, it doesn't have to be perfect over here, because we will work that away later on when we're going to decorate it. But I chose a little bit of the lighter gray, but you can do, of course, a little bit of the darker gray, just whatever you like. I will do both of them, and then we're going to distress it. Here you see already our jars at the top is already dried up. What we're going to do right now, I'm just going to take a black text marker, and I'm going to distress little pieces of our jar, at least at the lid, because later on we're going to do this. But first I'm only going to do the top, and I'm just going to take my marker, and I'm just going around the sides a little bit this way to give it a little bit more of a rustic and an old feeling. So just go a little bit around the edges, and a little bit over here, and just this way. And it is not, there's no rule how to do it, just do a little bit what you always say your feeling gives you in, and just a little bit, but keep a little bit your marker a little bit down, a little bit flat, so it gives a little bit more like an, that you don't have a one time a big line over it, because that's not the look we are going for. And just go make little marks, and try to do it as light as you can. Just keep it also light in your hands, and a little bit on the sides. So this is already one of them. You see already it's so easy to do. I will do the second one, and then we're going to give it a little bit of a rustic on the top. So you see already I did both of them in the distressing. What I took right now, a little bit of a rustic color. It looks on camera a little bit orange, but it is a little bit of the rustic color, but you can do anything you like. If you like a little bit of some furniture wax, you also can distress it a little bit. It also gives a little bit of an old feeling, but I'm going to try to do it with my marker, and we will see how this will work out. And just go with little pieces with the black, just go a little bit with your marker over it to give it a little bit a different lining. So this is a little bit how it will look like, and of course I will go around the sides to give him also on the sides a little bit of an old feeling. And this way, and over here a little bit. So I will finish this off and then I show you how it turned out. And here you see already how the lids turned out, and I am really happy with it. But of course, do it your own way. I always say, make it your own. And I'm going to maybe later on with some furniture wax over it to give it even more a little bit of a rustic feeling. For now, I'm going to print out on my computer some prints for this one and this one. And of course, I'm going to make a little tag for on top of our jar. And here you see already the prints I chose for. I chose for an Harlequin print for one of them and one with the black and the white little dots. And I'm going to use this kind of little tags. I made them myself. Of course, you find them also most of the time in our free printables. In our description box you will find there the link. So I'm going to cut out the little tags, and of course then we're going to Mod Podge our prints on top of our jars. So I did cut out everything I needed to do. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to use the smaller print of the Harlequin print for the smaller jar, and I'm going to use the dots. I hope I don't make you dizzy with all the printing. So, and this one I'm going to do on the bigger jar. I'm going to do a little different. Of course, I could draw everything out and then glue it on top of here, but I'm going to Mod Podge my jar, and then I'm going to just lay down the whole piece of paper over my jar and let it dry, and then I'm going to distress it later on the sides, so you get a little bit more of a distressing on the side of your jar. So, but I'll show you in a moment. So first I'm going to Mod Podge my jar, and I will do one together with you, so you know exactly what I mean. But I think you already know. I think maybe you saw it in an earlier video we did, but of course maybe with some other beautiful YouTube creator, because there are lots of beautiful creators on the YouTube, so maybe you saw it there, but I will show it to you also in this DIY. I won't do it every time, I promise. So you don't have to see me doing this every time and time again. So I'm going to take my print and I'm going to lay it a little bit on the top of our, and you just try to get it a little bit in the middle and just work your way around it and just make the sides popping out. And you see here I'm just squeezing the sides and over here, and just go around the lines, and now just let it dry. And here you see our two jars, and I am really happy with the finishing edges, because I love when you sand it. But of course, if you want to cut it, it's also fine too. But I love always to sand to give it a little bit nicer finish. What we're going to do right now, we are going to take our homemade tags, and of course we are going to Mod Podge this on top of here. And I know you see it in the opposite direction right now, but when you see the finished result, you will see how the tag is really looking like. But I am really happy with the tags. And of course, we are going to do Mod Podge this one on top of here. And here you see how they are looking like with the little tags on top of here. I'm going to go with the black marker. I'm going a little bit around the lines to make the sides a little bit more popping up. You can also do that in a gold color or something else, or maybe a rustic color. With this line you can go all the way you like it to be. So I think I'm going to, for the black marker, to go around, and then we are going to make a little nice bend around the top of the lid and the jar on its own. So we are going to make something for inside of here. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to work on the top, and I'm going to use a little bit of the smaller twine, at least thinner twine. Of course, you can use bigger ones if you like a little bit more of a robustic, I say what, a little bit thicker one, but I like it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to glue a little bit dot of glue over here, just on your back side of your, and lay your twine inside of it, and just wait for a little moment until your glue is dried up. And of course it dries very fast, and of course I want to do it too fast. I have to wait a second longer, I am sorry, but I just wanted to show you also. Now we are going to do a couple of turns and just do the way you think you want to do it. And I am going to do now, I think, a turn of 6 times, but you can do of course less. And I'm going to turn it around again, and I'm going to glue a little bit of glue over here, and just lay your twine inside of the glue. So you see already, I'm just laying it inside of here and wait until it's dry, and then I'm going to cut off the rest of our twine. And some people do a little bow already with it, but I always do the bow later. So this is dried up right now, and you see already this is how he is looking like right now. And I'm going to make later on a little bow for over here, but first I'm going to do the second one. So you see here I did also the bigger one, and I made a little bow out of it, but I did the bow in double, so I like it a little bit better. I show you how I do it for the people who like to see it. If you don't want to see it, it is very fast, but if you don't want to see it, just move forward. I take my little piece of twine, and I take a piece, and I'm going to do it double up and just make a loop the way you always tie your shoes, and just get them over here, under here, and just make your own loop. Just work a little bit with it, pull it a little bit, and always pull the tails, and just cut it off. And you see already you have a nice little double little bow. And I'm going to glue this on top of my little jar. I also have, of course, I do the tails a little bit shorter, but you can do them as long as you like. Of course, a little bit of the glue on top of our jar, and just lay your little bow inside of the glue. And you see already, this is, I have to work away the line wise, and you see already how cute he is looking. So, but of course, what I forgot to say, if you like a little bit more of the shiny touch of your jar, then you have to go over with Mod Podge a second time to give it a coat. But I like a little bit more of a matte finish, but of course you can do whatever you like. I think maybe now I'm going to distress a little bit more, so a little bit of the black and the brown, a little bit over here, but I have to think about it. But for now I am already really happy how both of them turned out. So I worked a little bit with my jars, and this is a little bit how they will turn out. But of course you can go all the way, you can go as crazy as you like. You can use other prints, you can use other tags, you can use a ribbon instead of twine. This is just an inspiration, and I show you in a moment the end result. For our next DIY, we need 2 prints of an Easter egg, and you see here already I printed 2 out, and I will cut them out. And of course we have we use some free wood from IKEA. I love the free wood. I always love things for free, especially when you're making your own home decor. So this is a little bit what we need for this DIY. What I'm going to do next with my little eggs, I'm going to cut them out the same way I did with my jars, and I will cut them out, and I will draw them out on top of my little piece of wood. Of course, here the same way I did with my jars, I'm going to draw them out, or at least I'm going to draw them over on top of my board. So this will be the same as we did with the jars. And here you already have our Easter eggs drawn over on our board. So we are going to go outside again and we are going to take our jigsaw and we are going to sew it out. And here you see our 2 Easter eggs, and we are going to do the same way we did with our jars. I'm going to give them a base coat from white chalk paint. Later on you will see what we are going to do with the egg later. But for now I always give it a base coat because or else everything you use is going into the wood. So I give them also this one a base with some white chalk paint. And like I said earlier, with the jars you can do any color you like, but because this is a base coat you don't have to be it doesn't matter what color you will use. You can also use Mod Podge, so if you have that around laying around, it's also fine too. So I will do both of them and then we're going to do the next step. And here you see already how our Easter eggs turned out. And also for this one we are going to my computer to print out some prints and the text I made also for the eggs. So I show you in a moment what I made. And here you see the prints I printed out. Of course, this one I still had for our jars I made. So maybe I will use this one also for the little one. I made some stripes, the black and white stripes. I like that also. And this one I like also, but it makes me a little bit dizzy. So I don't know if I will use this one. And of course, we made again 2 new prints for our Easter eggs, of course. I made them always myself, so you get the most unique prints. So I will cut this out and then we're going to Mod Podge again, like the same we did with our jars, our print on top of our Easter eggs. Also with my Easter eggs, I'm going to do the same principle like I did with my jars. So I am going to do my jar of my Easter eggs, of course, with some Mod Podge. It's so easy to do. And I say always, when I can do it, you can do it, because I am just an amateur like everyone else. This is just a hobby and just hoping that everyone likes the inspiration. But we are no professionals. We just, most of the time, we are just doing something and we hope it will be okay. So I'm going to glue my paper over here and let it dry. So just work your way a little bit and around your Easter egg and just make the lines again, just like we did with our jars. And just go ahead and just squeeze a little bit, make your turns and warm it up a little bit. And now I'm going to let it dry, and later on, like we did with our jars, we are going to distress it. So you see already my Easter eggs are dried up, the Mod Podge is dried, and now you can very easily, just like we did with our jars, we very easily can get with some sanding, we can get our paper off. So I will do that because I won't bore you with that anymore. So I will finish this off and then I show you how our Easter eggs turned out. So here you see already our Easter eggs are out of the paper, and I am really happy with the sides you get from sanding. But of course, do it your way. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take our text we just made, the bigger one for the bigger egg, the smaller one of course for the smaller egg. I'm going to Mod Podge on top of it, and then we are going to do something with twine also. And here you see already how our Easter eggs turned out, and I hope I don't make you dizzy with the print. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take the same easy twine I used, of course, in my with my jars, and I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do a couple of layers here, and I do a couple of layers over here, so a little bit in between. So I will start with the next one, and of course I will do this out of camera. I think already you know how to do a little piece of twine around it. You just saw me doing it also in a jar. I'm just doing a little glue over here, turn it a couple of times, and end also on the back side. And here you see both of our eggs are done. I did a couple of turns with twine on the above, and of course a couple of turns on the underside or on the bottom, just how you call it. And I did it also with this egg. What I'm going to do right now, of course, I will finish it off with a little bow on the bottom of a little bow on the top. I don't know for sure, but of course I will do it the same way I did with my jars. I'm going to take the twine double, and I'm just going to do it the way I tie my shoes. And I'm going to, of course, I have to use both of them. You see, this is the way what I mean. I'm also an amateur, just like everyone else. So I'm just going to work a little bit with it. I'm just going to do this one, this one, this one. And now you see already, now I have a nice little double bow for on the, I think I'm doing it on the bottom, but you will see in the end result, you will see where I have my bow.